Hi everyone, I'm Whitney from Sugar and Sparrow, and today I'm teaching you how to make Funfetti Buttercream. I recently made this sprinkly buttercream for my birthday cake, and I have to say it is so much fun and absolutely delicious. I'll walk you through the recipe, what sprinkles to use for best results, and even how to frost a smooth buttercream finish with it. First, let's talk about sprinkles. You'll want to use rod-shaped sprinkles that won't bleed their color. In my experience, any sprinkles that have confectioner's glaze in the ingredients list should work. This ingredient seems to seal in the color so that the sprinkles don't bleed in your buttercream or your cake batter if you want to make a funfetti cake to go with this buttercream like I did. My favorite to use are Ultimate Rainbow Jimmies by Sprinkle Pop. They never bleed their color. To get started, you'll need to make some vanilla buttercream. This recipe uses my favorite vanilla buttercream recipe as a base, and I made a separate detailed video that shows you how to make that. It's an American buttercream that I've tweaked to be less sweet than the standard, but you can actually use any buttercream as a base for this recipe if you're used to a different kind like Swiss meringue. Here's the quick version of my recipe for vanilla buttercream. Add 1 cup or 227 grams of softened butter into the bowl of your stand mixer and whip it with your paddle attachment on high speed until it's creamy and almost white in color. This takes about 7 minutes, and you'll want to scrape down the bowl and paddle a few times in between. When the butter is nice and creamed, add the powdered sugar a cup or 2 at a time and mix on the lowest speed until you've added 3.5 cups or 420 grams. Scrape down the bowl and paddle after each addition is incorporated. Finally, with the mixer running on low speed, add 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of room temperature milk, and a pinch of salt. Keep mixing on low until it's fully combined and uniform. Once you make the buttercream, add a 1/4 cup of rainbow sprinkles to it. This is a double batch of buttercream, so I used a 1/2 cup. Use a rubber spatula to fold the sprinkles in until they're well distributed, and you're good to use this funfetti buttercream right away. Just look how pretty it is! A few things to note about this buttercream. If you're planning on piping with it, be sure to use a non-complicated piping tip. I tried it with Wilton Tip 1M and it did not work. The sprinkles just got stuck in the tip. I did use it to frost a smooth buttercream finish on my cake though, and here is what I learned. Number 1, when you're smoothing the cake, be sure to keep the icing smoother at a very tight angle to the cake. This will help keep most of the sprinkles from dragging and creating trenches in the buttercream as you go along. Number 2, if your sprinkles do start to drag, don't stress out about it. Simply fill in those areas with more buttercream and keep smoothing with your icing smoother at a super tight angle. And number 3, if you want it extra flawless, you can pop the frosted cake into the refrigerator for about 20 to 30 minutes to let the frosting firm up before filling in any spaces where the sprinkles have dragged. You won't even be able to tell where those imperfections once were. I finished this cake with a fuchsia colored shell border on the top and the bottom of the cake. Americolor Fuchsia is my favorite gel to use for this color, and I used Wilton Tip 4B for the shell border. Then I added the prettiest birthday candles by Mary Mary. This cake turned out so fun, and I can't wait to make this funfetti buttercream again. The sprinkles didn't bleed their color once they were suspended in the buttercream, and it looked so fun and festive. I ended up pairing this funfetti buttercream with my favorite funfetti cake recipe, which I'll link below. It was just the right amount of sprinkles, and regardless of what kind of cake you pair this buttercream with, I hope you love it as much as I do. If you want more recipes and cake decorating tutorials, be sure to hit the subscribe button on my YouTube page. You'll find tons of videos like this one, plus my entire Cake Basics series that teaches you how to bake and decorate perfect layer cakes from start to finish. You can also head to my blog at sugarandsparrow.com for more of my favorite recipes, baking tips, cake decorating tutorials, and so much more. Thanks for watching!